Typically, when you lose a ranked game, it's almost never because the other team was actually good. It was because one or both of your teammates were just exponentially ass. Bad randoms, modifiers, underleveled brawlers, my sanity. All the reasons ranked, formerly known as Power League, is no longer competitive. Power League was a skilled game mode where you would have a best of 3 from bronze all the way to masters. No modifiers, no cushioning, no help. A notable characteristic of Power League was that getting masters was not easy and unappealing to casuals. But for the top 1%, it was reserved for the best of the best. If you got masters during this era of competitive brawl, it was very plausible for you to enter the esports level with at least mild levels of success. But due to the unpopularity of the game mode, Supercell decided it was time for a change, causing the complete rework of Power League. And to my knowledge, a lot of people were excited. I'll never forget the hype rank got when it was first announced. The first day of the new update quite literally had the game crashing due to the amount of people trying to queue into a round, causing Supercell to issue an emergency maintenance break to try and fix the problem. Needless to say, the update was extremely popular, but not long after did the pros start voicing their opinions, and honestly I agree. While the extra help like modifiers and the forgiving nature of the elo system is appealing to the average player, which is the point of the rework, it's also the reason people are complaining. From ranks bronze to gold, the games are only a best of 1, which isn't a problem because it introduces the concept of the game mode to the itty bitty babies who just downloaded the game because they saw John Cena shirtless. It's simple to digest, and I would argue it's good for the better players too, so you get out of the lower piss baby ranks faster. Diamond is where the best of 1 turns to a best of 3. You get to steamroll all the gold players who just got a little bit too lucky that season. The problem seems to arise when you hit Mythic. I've seen so many people say this is the rank they're consistently stuck in. Losing streaks, McDonald's Wi-Fi, and random so ass it makes you want to rip each Tona out one by one. Does this sound familiar? The elephant in the room is that those terrible randoms can't derank. Newsflash, those people will be in Mythic for as long as this season lasts. And better yet, it will show that they reached Mythic at least 2 seasons after that. That sweet feeling of, oh my god, I just lost 10 games in a row, hey, at least I'm still in Mythic, is also a feature for them. They are also still in Mythic for every game that you play after that. And trust me, it does not get better in Legendary. This is a huge problem for the game mode because it just inflates the ranks, especially since there's only 7, 3 of which that don't even have a pick ban phase. It causes randoms to get ranks that frankly, they don't deserve. I hate to put it so bluntly, but I've seen people show their god awful losing streaks because of one of these randoms, and honestly, some of y'all are the bad randoms. I'm sorry. There is no reason that we should be in Legendary ranked with people that still pick Power 9 Edgar. You're saying that the ranked right before the highest rank in the entire game was skillfully retrieved by one of these coconut-headed sons of bitches? No way. And this problem has the most simple fix, and it's just to remove the barrier. It has to be possible to Z-rank because that's the only way people can actually improve in the game. That's why it feels like every single game that you play has a bad random in it. You can't improve if you keep facing people that are just as bad as you. You have to be challenged, and having teammates that are just throwing the game isn't as much as a challenge to your skill as it is a challenge on your restraint to not off yourself. You'll never get out of Mythic if you don't improve enough to get out of Mythic. And you can't improve if the game is in its vanilla state. Yes, the next topic is modifiers. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say to remove modifiers entirely because honestly, it's way too late to remove them now. And it's one of the reasons the game mode is not dead like it used to be. Each season provides something new and encourages people to play it. But there's no denying that modifiers that quite literally make you have infinite ammo if you have enough projectiles does make the game lose a little bit of its competitiveness. But at the end of the day, the hard pushers that grind the game every day just to get that sweet, sweet masters aren't Supercell's moneymakers. Those randoms who pick Edgar are the one who pay for the $24 pack to get Kenji just a little bit earlier than the rest of us. A solution I recommend, purely for selfish reasons, is to just remove modifiers in higher ranks. The mode should be made so the higher that you get, the more advanced the format is. Of course, this in itself has its own problems, like people that get too high that don't want to lose the fun of the modifiers. But honestly, I've never seen a person saying, oh my god, yes, add more modifiers. But I don't know, maybe the stats reflect something different. This brings up my third point, and something I don't see talked about enough. For those of you who don't know, it used to be impossible to play in duos. Power League had 2 choices. You either played in solos or you played in teams in 3. There is no in between. So before, if you were playing in an organized team, you were guaranteed to face people in an organized team. If you were playing solos, you were guaranteed to have people on your team playing solo and face people playing solo. So matchmaking was completely fair. Now it's possible as a solo player to play against an organized team because your teammates are duo queuing, which honestly puts yourself at a huge disadvantage because that enemy team can possibly have comms comms. They know each other's gameplay, they know each other's skilled brawlers and flaws. All you know is that you're playing with Big Sigma 69 and his companion Chungus 42. It's unbalanced and annoying sometimes. I've quite literally played against organized team of pro players while I was playing solo. It's somehow easy to push high up in teams, especially if you're playing with friends, and somehow too frustrating to push solo. Even pushing in teams, isn't it unfun to just steamroll across all the ranks and get masters easy peasy? Since when was the rewarding thing about mastering anything that it was easy? The fact that it was so difficult to get masters prior to the rework is what made it so extremely impressive to accomplish. Now people don't even bat an eye if you have masters because it's just not as monumental as it used to be. And that's why people are upset. You want to be impressed with masters, legendary, and even mythic. If it's not as rewarding, eventually people are going to say, what's the point of pushing ranked anymore? There's no denying that the rework of the update was mostly successful. To say that the rework was an L on Supercell's part is statistically incorrect. The game mode and the game in its entirety has been in the best state it's ever been. At the end of the day, Supercell is a business. They're going to do what makes them money, which I'm not saying is a bad thing by any means, but it's something that appeals to the more sweaty players of Brawl hurts the game. It's best if we consider other possibilities. But to say that ranked could use some improvements, especially to the more competitive community of Brawl Stars, is absolutely not irrational. I think this whole thing will get better as time goes on, and especially with Frank's timeline on the horizon, I'm sure in the future we'll hear about more improvements since it's still a relatively new feature of the game. It's only been out for a couple months now. Let me know some ranked improvements you want in the comments and anything I may have gotten wrong in this video. I tried to be as accurate as possible, but it's harder to go back and research about this than I thought. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. This was different from my previous videos, so I hope you guys like it. Bye! Post editing Daniel here. This was really fun to make. I actually really like this style of video, so if you guys want more of this, let me know. I feel like my thoughts were disorganized this video because I literally decided to do this on a whim. And Rebel, I am working on that Draco video. I promise I am. I am thinking of you all the time, okay? I'm doing it, I swear. Draco's been harder to master than I thought. But yeah, let me know if you guys want more of this style of content, and I'll see you later.